This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
Beers in the Lot is partnered with the Hockey Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Beers in the Lot. Before we get going, let me just remind you about our shop at beersinthelot.com/shop. That's where you can get t-shirts and other merchandise with Beers in the Lot logos on it. Also, check out beersinthelot.com for anything else you might be curious about this podcast. And be sure to join the Discord at beersinthelot.com/discord. So, for episode 188, Riggs and John and I talked about the Old Fat Bald Guys Hockey League events of Sunday night. And we talked a bit about the upcoming Amazon show that was mentioned at the GM's meeting this week. And the three of us had to make do since we were without Daniel this week. Or were we? All right, let's get to it.
What are you drinking tonight, Aaron?
I have a Modelo.
Oh, Modelo time.
It's Modelo time.
Well, yeah, because last week
Especial.
was like 70 and today it's like 36. So,
Yeah,
right?
right?
That makes sense.
You know,
it's Modelo
it's
time.
only cold when we go to play hockey. Right?
Not on a pond, but yeah.
Well, true, yeah.
Yeah.
I wear shorts most of the week, but then Sunday comes around and I gotta wear fucking pants and shoes again. It's super annoying.
We live in a modern society. It's okay.
Yeah, but I want to wear sandals to the rink. That's what I want to do. That's what I want. I digress. What are you drinking tonight, John?
I have a yellow jacket, Coors Banquet. So, yeah. What about you, Riggs? What are you drinking?
I have a Guinness. A Guinness
Ooh,
from
apt.
yesterday. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. As we record on the 18th.
Yeah.
Record
day
the day
after.
St. Patrick's Day. So, yeah. Good. You got a couple leftovers.
Yeah, there's a couple left.
Anybody get pinched last night because they weren't wearing green? Anybody?
No.
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 I was lurking. I was looking for gentlemen without green on, but a lot of people had it.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. I'm
You
generally
usually-
lurking one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You're
I
a
had
bit of
to-
a lurker.
I joke. Well, I
Bit of a
joked last
lurker.
night. I was like, if you're loitering, generally it means you're just kind of there. You know, you're just around. If you're lingering, you're not. You're just like totally in your own world, whatever. But if you are lurking, you're up to no good, guaranteed. So I'm generally in that lurking category for sure.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
So yeah, all good. Aaron, how'd your game go last night? How was your tilt?
Our game was a little lopsided.
Like a seesaw?
No, not like that. It was maybe a seesaw with a fat kid on one side. I don't know. It was all one sided in our game pretty much. Scoreline ended up 13-5, I think. But we had a ringer that I don't think was prepped. And
Oh.
maybe came in with a bit too much heat. I think he put in like 5 goals and 2 assists. Yeah. It was weird though, because sometimes games get kind of out of hand, I guess, and it turns into like a vicious cycle of the defense saying, "Oh, every shot's going in. Why should we even try?" And then they get more upset when the other team scores more. And at least 1 or 2 goals were almost as unintentional as a goal can be. Like guys are trying to shoot at the chest and stuff like that, and not actually trying to score. But you got to at least take the shot when you're in certain situations, or you're an asshole. You know?
Here's the problem with that strategy. Usually people hit the chest when they're trying to score.
Right.
So if you're not trying to score, then it would follow that the puck would actually go where you don't want it to go, which would be in the net.
Yeah, so just keep sniping. You try harder to snipe corners, right?
Yes.
And you'll inevitably hit the chest. Yeah.
But I I have a problem with average OFBGers saying that they're not trying to score by trying to hit the goalie in the chest when they can't even hit the net anyway.
I mean, one of our guys had 4 goals on accident. Like he had 3, and normally it's kind of like, it's kind of an unwritten rule. It's like you get 3, then all right, start taking some off, slow it down a bit, try to find the pass, But now and then you're still in a situation where it's like, okay, if I don't shoot, I'm a jerk, and it looks like I'm an asshole, sort of thing, right? So you got to throw it at the net, but whatever. Sometimes that happens.
So it was like an Austin Powers situation, just falling down a few times on the bed. I get it.
It fell over.
Fell over. Yeah,
no, they
exactly.
were they were missing 2 big players too, like 2 of their main scorers. So we picked a bad night to introduce the ringer. What did you put in our Discord, Eric? The video of from Dune of calling in the Sardaukar.
The Harkonnen go to get the Sardaukar, the Emperor's guard, man. Wiping out the Atreides.
Yeah.
That was us calling in ringers. Calling in the Sardaukar.
What does the Baron need with 3 battalions of the Emperor's guard?
Yeah. Gosh.
How did you guys' game go?
We won, but it was close. It was like a lacrosse score.
Yeah.
It was like 9-8 or 9-7 or something like that. Yeah.
But it was just back and forth the whole time.
Nice.
It was fun though. We had a good little time. We were kind of joking like this season, just the personalities we have on the bench. If you just listen to the on-bench conversations, you can't tell what's going on the ice. We're just having side conversations about like Legends of the Hidden Temple and stuff, like just hanging out, having fun. Like just, I'm pretty sure Eric and I at one point were talking about like cooking steak and shit. Like it wasn't like we don't. It's actually great. We have
just social time. It's not.
That's exactly the way we treat it. And if you look at our record, it shows. Like we show up. We just kind of want to hang out. So we just kind of go about our business.
I heard there was a jersey foul though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. We gotta fine him big time. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we gotta fine him. Are we allowed to say the culprit on air? Are we allowed to say this?
Yeah, he's been on the show.
On the podcast, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not under investigation. We're gonna release the sketch to the public. We're gonna do that, right?
Wait, what?
We're gonna release the sketch to the public of this offender. Be on the lookout for this guy.
Sure.
Put out a bolo.
Yeah, put a bolo. We're gonna call our friend in major crimes, Frederick County.
Major crimes division.
Yeah,
of the local police. Yep. But no, come on. He's. We have to preface this by saying
disgusting display by Gooner.
He's a huge supporter of the podcast. We love him, but it's
gross.
I guess a disgusting display.
Well, so all right,
go on.
There's a Wednesday night league that some of us play in. Okay, a lot of us don't admit we even play in it. We play in it because Sunday night is like our gold standard. Just because we've all been there, but like the Wednesday night things, kind of it's different people, whatever, and it is a little more cliquey. So it's kind of like this running joke, like Sunday night, you don't like. Go out there in skins. I don't care, a black jersey or a white jersey, whatever. But he wore that blue jersey on the ice, and he stood out like a sore thumb. And everyone yelled at him when he got on the ice. I know he felt bad.
So
I'm
wait
sure
a minute.
he still does.
He's on the Oilers team, which has like the dark blue jerseys.
Yes.
And his Wednesday night team is the Nordiques, I think, which is a fucking bright blue jersey, right? So I guess he forgot his Oilers jersey.
Yeah, it's a light blue. Well, I think he probably had it in his Gitch bag and just grabbed the wrong one, probably. If I had to guess.
Yeah, maybe that's it then. I mean, at least it's a similar color to the team, right? You got to give them credit for that. At least
It doesn't matter.
It's not orange. I mean, come on.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's still gross.
Doesn't matter.
We're understanding it. I'm thinking about the children at this point in time. Like, it's ridiculous. We can't have this stuff going on.
Like, there are standards to be
Yeah, we have
upheld
rules
here.
and standards.
Like,
Yeah, come on. People have families and shit. This is insane. This is stuff we got to deal with on Sunday night now.
It is the world's most famous, beer league, but it's also a really neat league too. So
It's neat as shit. Yeah,
so
you're right.
there is that.
Yeah.
Some might say it's the neatest.
The neatest.
league.
The neatest.
World's most neatest beer league.
League.
Man.
Hmm.
What else is going on?
I did some yard work this weekend. That was pretty sick. Yeah. Built some Adirondack
Why are you
chairs.
in such a hurry to mow your grass, man?
Yeah,
Because it was getting crazy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Can't be
was.
getting crazy.
No, it's not. It's not even
I have
all the way
standards.
awake yet.
I have
It's not even-
standards.
most of it's still dormant. It's not even all awake yet. Come on.
I can judge it because my dog is out there trotting. So
I have a dog.
I have standards. I know you have a dog. I have standards.
Dog.
I just wanted to cut it. I don't see the problem with it. Like, you're bagging on me for, like, just upkeep of my property, and I'm the bad guy. Like, what do you want me to do? Look like the neighbors across my street and never mow it? There's like pythons and panthers crawling through there. I'm not gonna be that guy. Yeah, when I moved in, I did complain about the neighbors to my wife. I did not complain to the town. I'm not a Darren, like, So yeah, but yeah.
There's got to be some interesting hockey stuff going on, right? Maybe.
The only thing really interesting, they have the Board of Governors meetings going on today and this week. I do know the
It's GM meetings.
The
It's
GMs, sorry.
meetings.
Yeah, GMs. They were going to meet with Peros. So that I'm sure will be interesting just to hear kind of the tidbits from that. And then some of the stuff that people have been saying for like a billion years. Do like kind of an F1 Drive to Survive or Full Swing. Apparently Amazon greenlit, a docu-series of following 10 to 12 NHL players. But it's weird because they're like, it's going to release in the fall. But I'm like, does that mean they're going to do it like kind of live, almost like 24/7? Where they'll like go from October to December, we'll follow these 10 to 12 players and have, 7 or 8 episodes? Or is it something they've been doing kind of already and they're just going to do the wrap up? Kind of like Full Swing or F1, where it kind of is in, you see the season and then before the next season starts, technically they release that docuseries. Either way, I think it'd be cool.
Probably get some hype going next season, yeah.
Well, if you follow the right players too. I mean, I think it's going to be
10 or 12. I mean, they got to be picking some of them.
Well, if I had to guess, they're going to go younger. They're going to try to get younger, hipper, more like outgoing players to showcase time away from the rink.
I don't think they will.
You think they're going to get like bland bags of milk?
Got to be the big names.
I think it's going to look a lot like some of the more recent things that they've done for Winter Classic and following
where it's
teams
just
around.
too doctored.
And and they just use a lot of the broadcast game footage with some on ice mic'd up audio, which we've already heard because whatever regional broadcast that they're on was doing it, right?
Yeah.
So like I think it's just gonna be more of the same shit. It's just gonna be in an hour-long
and a little better produced, probably.
Right? And like 8 episodes or something or whatever.
What I really kind of liked about the Full Swing thing, and especially this season, the new Full Swing, like they talked about Rory and he's like upset and talking to his golf coach about how his swing is off and he wants to like start contending in majors. And you could tell it's like a real genuine feeling. He's like, I'm fucking there, but I'm not at another level. And like, it's interesting to hear that. And yes, it's an individual sport, totally separate from like hockey, but I would love to like kind of see like,
but see, for those guys,
some
like,
of that. It's different.
Since it is individual, they're like their brand is literally like themselves.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with a team or anything like that.
Yeah,
or
I get it.
or their career being somehow derailed by their individual,
something they say or
you know, whatever, right? Like we've talked about this multiple times, right? Like hockey players and the lives that they live and the job that they do and the teams that they're on, like we're never going to see that original 24/7 again.
No, I think the biggest thing was the personalities.
Right. Well,
Like,
it's not even that. There's like, you already know, on every NHL team there are interesting people, and guess what?
100%.
And guess what? They're not like the names. Like, they're not the top tier guys. They're the middle tier and the lower tier guys. Those are the personalities that you want to see, right? And those are the ones that you saw in the original 24/7, right? Those were the guys that the light was shown on them. Everybody understood, like, oh, these guys are awesome. And then it went away because I think in the eyes of NHL player culture, it was too much exposure and too much risk from that exposure. So it all got shut down, and it's been clamped down so much to a point where, like I said, like you look at the recent things that even that teams have done, they just use the stock broadcast footage. They put a little bit of narration over the top of it, and they sprinkle in some on ice mic'd up stuff and some in the room mic'd up stuff, and then the rest of it's like nothing.
The same shit.
It's just filler. Like, there's nothing there.
Time out for just a second while we hear about our sponsors. We'll be right back. We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. Pure Hockey has the best hockey equipment, accessories, and apparel on the market to take your game to the next level. Maybe it's time to ditch that old stick and start the year with a fresh twig. Maybe it's time to refresh your NHL wardrobe for the race to the playoffs. Pure Hockey has it all. Whether it's training aids, the latest sticks and skates, or your favorite team's gear, get your hockey shopping done at Pure Hockey and use our affiliate link at beersinTheLot.com/Pure Hockey.
I think of like a situation where they did have a little bit, I don't want to call it too much access, but like that Jimmy Vesey situation with Sheldon Keefe and Kyle Dubas.
Yeah.
When they did the Leafs one, and it made Jimmy Vesey look kind of like it didn't shine him in the best light. Now, granted, we don't know, like, was that the best situation for him? Maybe not. I mean, with the Rangers this year, he's done pretty well.
Considering how he's doing now,
exactly. It kind of is like,
guess who the problem was in that situation?
It was Keefe. It wasn't Dubas, clearly. But yeah, in Dubas we trust. But like, I am kind of curious because like I kind of like that. I'm like, because one thing, like NFL Hard Knocks, they always did a good job of like showcasing and telling the stories of the guys that were on the bubble to make the roster.
Yeah.
The 50-some man roster. And they did focus on like the star quarterbacks and receivers and defensive end and linebackers and shit. But they always made a really strong effort to like showcase some of the like athletic trainers or like other people on the team. Like I remember the Houston Texans one, the strength coach or one of the equipment managers did that like awesome Macho Man Randy Savage impersonation, and everybody loved it. You know, like little shit like that. I would love to see more of that stuff. But like you said, it's kind of like NHL is very stuffy still. They try to act like they're not, but they're very stuffy. 100%.
They're just so closed off, and like as a league and as a player group, they're so like just introverted. Like
I would be really curious because I don't think they've done it. Like almost put, you can't gauge it, but like get a few players around trade deadline, like especially guys that their names are in the
that'll never happen.
Yeah, press. I know it won't. I know. I'm just saying. I would love to see because like I'm curious how some of those guys. I know some of those guys, they just go about their business and shit. It doesn't matter. But like Pedersen in Vancouver, before he signed that contract, the team like went to him and were like, "Hey, we know this is affecting you because now there are rumors that we're going to trade you because Vancouver saw what happened in Calgary a few years ago with Tkachuk and Gaudreau, and I don't think they want to be caught in that situation where they got to trade him away, or he just walks. You know, you don't want that. So,
yeah, I don't see. You know, I'm gonna watch it. Like, okay, like,
I'm gonna watch it,
but it's not.
We'll always
know,
be chasing the tail of that
right
original 24/7.
You can't go in with the
we're
expectation.
always chasing that dragon, dude.
You can't go in with the expectation of that anymore because it's been 13 years, right? And since then, steadily the picture has gotten more and more narrow, right? Like it's like they just close down even more and more. I mean, it was almost to a point after like all the COVID restrictions and everything that they weren't going to let the media have access to the room after ice. You know, they would get a half hour, whatever it was, to talk to players in the room after practices and after games and stuff. And it got to a point where, like during COVID, they couldn't do that, and you know, rightly so. But coming out of that, they weren't going to remove that restriction because, you know, I don't think the teams wanted.
The players liked it.
I don't think the teams and the players wanted them to have access.
Yeah,
right?
I think they kind of were like, I understand the reason for, you know, the COVID procedures, but then I think when it was like talked, like you said, like it's like, oh, we got to bring them back. They're like, do we? Like, right. This has kind of been nice because then if you remember, that's when they did like the Zoom or Teams calls.
Yeah.
So like instead of like a reporter going around and let's say getting out of the 18-man roster plus your two goalies, like they may, you know, on the Zoom or Teams thing, they were only getting 2 or 3.
They got
so
2 players.
Like,
and
2 players.
And the coach. And that was
so
it.
you could avoid a lot. I mean, and think about how many general managers you never heard from at all.
Right.
I mean, and there are some general managers that like, I think they kind of like taking some of that heat away from their coaching staff. And deep down, I think some of them really enjoy being in front of a mic as well.
For me, in the context of like, you know, a behind the scenes all access Amazon series with 10 superstars from the NHL, like all you have to do is look at recent history and you'll know that you're not getting behind the scenes all access. You're going to get a very controlled and produced look that you probably have already seen anyway. They're going to have McDavid on there and you're going to see him working out and like doing his extra skating stuff, and everybody already knows he does that. That's why he's the best. Okay. Like we've seen it already. Like you're not going to see like, oh, he, you know, likes whatever music and he goes to this movie.
He likes
like
Nickelback.
Whatever. And you know, when they're on the road, you know, he's the guy that, and I'm just making shit up. Like he's the guy that organizes the team dinners and always picks like the crazy places and like whatever. Like you're not going to get any of that shit. Like forget about it.
You're going to get the equivalent of pucks off the glass, pucks in deep and high off the glass. You know, you're going to get the equivalent of that
for like, an hour.
Personality wise, it's like all right, he likes to work out and eat healthy and ride the bicycle. Like
Right.
that's everybody knows this shit.
So I have a question. Would you rather see, like, let's say they do the Amazon series, whatever, they do it at that Four Nations Cup they have in February?
It's the same thing.
Nah, maybe
that'll be
different. I
the
don't
way-
know.
The way that'll be
I'm
produced.
just saying.
The way that'll be produced is the same way they do the playoff ones now, where it's literally repackaged broadcast video with the on ice mic'd up stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's
narration over the top. That's all it is, and then some uncopyrighted music underneath of it. Like that's all it is.
And they have
That's
Dennis
all it
Leary.
is.
Dennis
Yeah.
Leary narrating it.
Yeah. That's all it
For
is.
Boston. They have shitty
Like,
Jack
if you-
Edwards clips on top of it.
If you
horrible.
watch the games, or you watch like on the fly on the NHL Network or whatever, you're basically seeing the same thing without the narration and the shitty soundtrack underneath of it.
Yeah. Did you hear about that that overtime rule the NHL had, but no one really knew about it?
Yes.
I
This
like
is
that
interesting.
actually.
I like this. So that you're talking about the Minnesota game where
Yes.
they pulled the goalie? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
if you pull the goalie for an extra attacker in overtime and you lose, then you forfeit the point that you would have gotten for making it past regulation.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
they won. Boldy got the goal, so the gamble paid off. And Minnesota needs all the points they can get. They're in the playoff hunt, of course.
Yeah.
So it worked for them, but if they'd lost, then they would have
Yeah.
lost the single point.
For
that they already had.
clarification, it does not count on delayed penalties. Yeah.
Right?
it's only when
not
you're
on
even
delayed
strength.
penalties,
Yeah.
But it's pretty crazy. And we were actually talking about this in the room last night. That I wonder if they just screwed up and didn't realize that was the
No,
rule.
apparently from what everything I've seen and read about it since then, a lot of the coaches and management know that rule. It was something that's been in the rule book, but no one's really done it. And Peter Laviolette did it years ago when he was with Carolina, I think. And
No,
he did something like that.
couldn't have been that long ago.
It was
With the
pretty long
Flyers?
ago, dude.
No. He
Maybe it was with Philly.
even
One of-
longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he apparently's done it one time, and they ended up going to shootout, and there was somebody else who's done it too. In both situations where it was like, we need the 2 points. I like that though for Minnesota. Like they're in a hunt. They're like, we need the 2 points.
Hey,
They're also in cap hell,
bold
so they don't
strategy,
have much.
Cotton. See if
Johnny
it pays
Hines.
off for him.
Johnny
Yeah.
Hines.
That's right. Yeah.
Great
I mean, it
American
definitely
coach.
paid off for them. They got their
Yeah.
their points, but I don't know. That's a big gamble for 1 point.
Who the hell is that? Oh my god!
Oh my God! It's Danny's music.
Welcome to the
fellas?
podcast, Daniel.
Daniel.
Oh my god! Sick. Hello, young Daniel.
Oh, hello.
What's good?
Well, dad life.
Dad life? Sick.
Yeah.
Do you mow your grass? What were you doing?
Kids.
no, I was getting thrown up on.
Oh,
Oh.
sick. Yeah.
Literally sick.
Yeah, literally sick.
And you're just
What do
in
you-
time for us to wrap up. What do you have
Yeah,
anything
great.
to add to the we
To the
talked about
discussion?
games like
Do you have
to the
anything to add to
discussion?
the discussion?
Yeah,
We're
come
not
on.
going to tell you what we were talking about.
Great
No.
episode tonight, guys.
Just add something to the discussion.
Yeah, add something, please.
What do you think of what John just said, Daniel?
Per usual, he was rambling a lot, but all of it was pretty factual, and I tend to agree with most of what he said.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Spot on. Spot on.
Thanks, bud. Danny just comes out of the clouds, tries to take shots at me. Ridiculous. State of affairs. We're losing control here. Losing control rapidly. Danny's going to show up on Sunday with his Wednesday night jersey. Disgusting.
No, I will not. That is not something I will be doing.
good.
I don't know what kind of animal does that.
You're right. You're right.
Did you guys see him in the locker room putting it on?
No.
Okay.
He was one of the last ones to come out. I think he may have been a little tipsy, at least, to say the least.
Oh.
All right.
Huh.
Oh.
Hey, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
He was having a time.
have a time, yeah.
I'm
Have
the
a
king of the
time.
world. Yeah, nice.
Well, what was your take on the game then, Daniel? Now we got the other team's take now.
Yeah,
Riggs
how'd
and
you
Johnson
do?
was a close game.
It was a good game.
Sick.
Sick.
Yes, yeah.
Do you care to expound on that a little more?
Yeah.
I love when I'm playing against Riggs and I can just hear him yelling at his teammates. Like when he's on the ice. It's like,
Actually, the best is
Get moving!
at one point in the game, somebody iced the puck on our team, and Eric was sitting on the bench, and they went for a change, and Eric said something I couldn't remember because I was coming on too, and I was talking to like my line mate, and I heard Riggs just yell something at the guy that came off. I had no clue what he said. I was just like, what the f-? But then again, I'm yelling the whole night. I mean,
it's great.
yeah, typical.
Sounds like something.
You guys had
Sunday
like 19 dudes.
Yeah, we had too many.
Yeah, we had
people.
too many guys.
That's why I was like, I'll play D because then I can go every other shift.
Yeah.
Did you switch?
Yeah,
Did
we
you
had
start
3
out
lines.
with D?
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
D the whole
Yeah.
period, the whole game.
Yeah. We had a skater. He wanted to play up because he was late last week. Played up, so he wanted to do it again this week.
I know you're
Did
talking
well
about,
too.
yeah.
So it's like,
Well, he's a good
Yeah,
player.
he did really well. As a
Yeah.
stats guy, he recorded like a 4-point night or something. Like,
Yeah.
he did really well.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna keep that lineup.
yeah,
It's kind of funny because last night was the second night out of the whole season that we got the bigger locker room, and we ended up having 9 guys total.
Oh my god.
We have so much room for activities.
man.
I know. All the other times were like jammed into sheet 1 locker rooms like sardines.
oh, we've been doing it. We have had spectacular attendance all season, and it's driving me wild.
Well, you gotta
but-
stop having such a fun team.
That's what they were saying, is that they're on
I
the
don't know what
bench
to
talking
do.
about Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh yeah,
and
we're
cooking
if
steaks.
you put a mic on our bench, you have no clue what's going on in the game. We are not even talking about the game. We, like I said, we're just
now
talking
and then
about
you're
so
yelling
much
about
shit.
icing, but
I got verbally accosted many a times from your bench last night.
Yeah, as you should. Don't skate by it.
Don't skate.
Don't skate by the bench. You don't get
skate
verbally
by it.
accosted. You know, if you're skating by the bench, we're gonna catcall you, dude.
Oh
Like,
my
come on.
God.
Wait, what?
Danny was complaining because every time he skates by our bench, we catcall him. He doesn't like it.
Oh yeah,
verbally accosted.
we do it to everybody.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. It's great. It's the best part
Actually,
about playing.
that's how you know if we don't like you as a team. We won't talk to you. If you skate by our
right.
bench,
Yeah,
we don't
right.
say anything.
That's right.
Better be hoping that they're gonna yell at you.
Yeah. I think it'd be
That's how you know
funnier
you're
if just
there.
one game we just all were silent somehow. It's impossible for me. I can't do it. You need to like tape my
Riggs is
mouth.
shaking his head.
shut.
He's like,
Yeah.
nope, that's
Nope.
not happening.
Nope.
I need a gag ball or something. It ain't
Because
happening.
even if it's not that stuff, it's like, especially when I'm playing D, I try to talk to the guys up ice.
yeah, you
so
gotta
they
be a
know,
little vocal.
so they know like what's going on behind them or like whatever.
Fucking
Like,
shoot it.
It's like,
Yeah.
so no, especially like plays like down in the corner and on the half wall and everything. Like, if it, just let them know where everybody's at.
You tell
and-
them not to pass to you.
yes, and then
Yeah,
they do.
You're like, no,
and
no,
then
no,
they
no,
do
no, I heard
anyway.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then they do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my dude. My favorite
I
is
say
like
no
guys.
12 times and the puck still
Yeah.
comes in my direction.
Dude,
and then
that's-
the other team gets it. Weird.
That is like that is like one of my favorite, because you notice like you break up the ice sometimes, and just the way the seas part and the lines change. I feel like there's one defenseman, he's not on my team this season. I've been on the ice playing forward, like literally all 3 forwards are on my side of the ice, and I'm literally looking at him like, no, and he throws it, and I have to battle 3 guys and get it, and then you tell him, he's like, oh, sorry, I wasn't kind of paying attention. I'm like, okay, that's wild. What a concept. And then like the next shift, it's the exact same thing. It's Groundhog Day, and you're like, I don't get it. So then I just go, hey, I'm gonna play left wing now. Thanks. Switch. Because he can't pass on his backhand side.
All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for your listen and for your support. We appreciate all of your likes and ratings and reviews and subscriptions on the various podcatchers. Keep them coming. We appreciate every single one of them. I know I speak for the rest of the guys when I say have a good one, and we'll catch you next week when our new episode drops on Wednesday. See ya.